Hi guys, welcome back. It's Angel. So today we are going to begin our little mini series on picking out the best providers for us. And this came about because on yesterday's video I shared with you how much I love my team of providers. And that is because I was very intentional in picking out the providers that I have. Now, granted, I did move to a new area, so I had to get new providers. But even if you've had the same ones for years, you know, every now and then you want to make sure that, is this still the right person for me? Do I feel respected? Do I feel heard? Do I feel like I am a collaborative partner in this relationship? So I would encourage you to even take a look at the doctors that you have, the doctors and providers, nurse practitioners that you currently have, and make sure that that is still the good team for you. And why this is important also is because what if something, God forbid, happens to you in the middle of the night and you're rushed to the hospital, or if you're incapacitated and you can't acknowledge or talk, or you have no level of consciousness, you're knocked out, whatever. I can't find my words today. You want to know that the people who are going to be taking care of you, you've put them in those positions to take the best possible care of you. And you want to do this before there's an emergency. And you know, you have the right to kind of kick the tires a little and to see if I like this provider, if I don't, and you know, start courting them or dating them to make sure that these are the right providers that you want to have on your team. So today I'm going to try and keep these videos short. Today we're just going to talk about the 4 W's that I used. I didn't even know I had a system until I started writing it down. But my 4 W's are word of mouth, where'd you go to school, what's the World Wide Web say about you, and also will you be covered? Are you in network? So word of mouth. You want to ask people that you know, like, and trust who they know, like, and trust. So ask your neighbor, ask somebody that, one of your colleagues, if you're moving to a new town, new job, ask one of your colleagues, hey, I need to find a new gynecologist, I need to find a new dentist, or a family provider, a GP. I need to find these. Who do you recommend? Who do you like? And if they give you a name and they say, oh my gosh, I love Dr. Smith, why? Ask for examples. And if they say, oh, because he's married to my first cousin Susan on my mother's side, or if they say, oh, he's coached my son's little league for years, or oh, because he's so cute, so handsome, blah, blah, blah. It doesn't matter. None of those things matter. I want concrete answers. I'm going to say, can you give me an example of a time, like, do you feel heard? Do you feel like he always goes the route of preventative medicine before just putting you on a pill? Does he explain things? Does he allow questions? All those kinds of things, because that's what makes a good provider, not if they sponsor your little league, local little league team. So that's the first one, word of mouth. The next one would be, where did you go to school and when did you go to school? Now, when is important for me because I'm 55 and I don't want to pick somebody that went to school, you know, 10 years earlier than me, who's like on the cusp, or even 5 years old prior to me, because I don't want them on the cusp of retiring. I'm not going through all of this effort to find somebody who, oh, he's planning on retiring in the next 2 to 3 years. No, I want somebody who is, and that's not age discrimination, it's a matter of, this is a lot of work and I'm not going to do it every 2 or 3 years. So I'm going to try and find somebody on the more younger side, or who has graduated more recently. The where part is important because I want to make sure that my providers went to a university, medical school that is an accredited program, preferably one that I've heard of before. And I'm also going to make sure that you want to make sure that it's an accredited university, because, you know, I don't know if y'all have ever heard that joke, but in a class of 250 physicians at their medical school graduation, what do they call the person who graduated number 250? They still call them doctor. Oh yeah, the last in the class is still called doctor. So wouldn't you like to have a provider who went to an accredited school, one that you're familiar with, perhaps even an Ivy League school? 2 of my providers went to an Ivy League school, because the last in that class is still going to be better than the first in a school that I've never even heard of before. So I think education is really important to me. Also, are they accredited? What boards are they, not accredited, I'm sorry, board certified. So if I'm choosing a dermatologist, I want to make darn sure that they are board certified in dermatology. Women's health, board certified, blah, blah, blah. really important certifications that you want to make sure that they are certified in that specialty that you are looking to bring them in on. The next thing I would do is go to the World Wide Web. So I am really good at internet sleuthing, or whatever you want to call it, detective, but that's my nature because I investigate for fraud. So I investigate people. I will Google their name, and I will Google every avenue that comes up with their name on it. I want to make sure, have they ever been had a medical malpractice lawsuit brought against them? If it's a surgeon, were they sued for taking off the wrong arm or wrong leg? Yeah, I want to know that. I also want to make sure that I want to see, did you publish any scholarly articles? All that kind of stuff. I'm going to Google your internet name. I'm also going to go on LinkedIn, professional networks. I want to know, are you contributing to your profession? Are you posting scholarly articles on there? Who are you following? Who do you like to follow on LinkedIn? That kind of gives you an inside look into their brain a little bit. And then I also do Facebook. Oh yeah, for my providers. Because quite frankly, I want a professional, and a professional isn't going to have naked photos or photos of them in skimpy little outfits, drinking and partying and getting all drunk and all that kind of stuff. You can have that in your best friend, but you don't want it in your provider. So that's my opinion. So anyway, I Google them on Facebook, LinkedIn, and I Google the heck out of them to find out what is being said about them. Also remember though, you can't believe everything you read on the internet. I know that because there are internet trolls who, the same way with alcohol, they say alcohol is liquid courage. I feel like internet bad reviews, that is cyber courage. And people think that because of the anonymity that they can do and say and trash people's reputations with no recourse at all. And just shame on people like that. So that's an outlier though. Now, if there's 20 people saying the same thing about the provider, well, then that's something different. But if it's only 1 or 2 people, naysayers, then I think, what's your issue kind of thing. So that's the World Wide Web. And then the fourth thing will be, will you be covered by my insurance carrier? Are you in network? Because no matter how much I love you, if I've got to pay out of pocket for you, yeah, it was nice meeting you. Not doing that. So then there are some other factors that you want to take into account, like where is their office located? Are you going to have to drive an hour each way? Some people live in remote areas, and yeah, you do have to do that. What are their hours? Are you somebody that works full-time Monday through Friday and you need somebody with the weekend hours? You know, those kinds of things play into the equation as well. But the 4 basic W's I use when I am searching out a new provider is word of mouth. What are people saying? Where did you go to school? When did you go to school? What's the World Wide Web say about you? And will you be covered? I felt like Donald Duck or Tweety Bird right there. What World Wide Web will you be covered? Whew, that's a lot. Okay, so want to share those little pointers with you today. Tomorrow I'll be back and we'll talk about how to actually enter into this appointment with your provider to see if they are the ones for you. Because ultimately, guys, you have to realize, and this is why I say my goal is to educate and empower everybody to become better consumers of healthcare. You're a consumer. This is a business transaction. Yes, the provider-patient relationship is sacred, but it's still a business transaction, right? You're paying them for a service, and you want to make sure that that is the best person to deliver that service for you. So on our next video, we'll talk about the patient encounter and your first visit with a potential provider. Thanks for being here with me today. Loved seeing you again, and I'll see you next time. Bye-bye. Thank you.